put this together because when I first got introduced to online dating, it was in the early 90s, I believe, when AOL. Did anybody have experiences with AOL in the early 90s? Well, back then, it was our generation, being 20 years ago now. It was like an opening in the earth for people that were divorced, mainly divorced. Huh? No, I wasn't really pointing to you, and I wasn't pointing to my wife either. Don't get any ideas. But it was at a time when people were getting divorced, not losing. 20 years ago, when people were in their 30s or 40s, and it caught on like wildfire. People would fall in love on AOL, and it was almost like you were back in high school and you were falling in love for the first time. What's interesting about that is the vast majority of people never even met. They fell in love at a very private place inside their minds. And most of the time, they fell in love with people that were living 500 miles away, 1,000 miles away, and it served a purpose. It filled a space inside of them, and it created where they can, in their own imagination, half of it was in their own imagination, create a relationship with someone, and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people were very much falling in love online at that time. So there's really two places where you can kind of create relationships. One is in your heart, which is what we were all kind of taught when we were younger. And where's the other place? In your head. I've actually written a whole book about this subject. And basically, quickly, I'm going to describe what I learned from 6,000 conversations, written, documented conversations that I had on AOL from 1993 to 2003. And this is what I had learned a lot about relationships, but when I had these very intimate discussions with people, what I learned from their stories, just incredible. And what I basically learned was, if you were 15, 16, 17, 18 years old and fell in love, if you got your heart broken, your parents broke you up, his parents, she went off to school, you went off, if you got your heart broken, it was very, very, and men especially, oh my God, if you wonder why men are so sometimes emotionally so retarded, I know most of you don't think of us that way, but some of us are. It's because when, and I'll tell you the difference, and you're going to say, it's the same for women. When a boy fell in love at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, just like you went in 100%. No baggage. There's nothing to be afraid of. You weren't worried about this and guilty about that. You just jumped in. Did you have, everybody kind of have that experience when you were younger? When a man, if he gets his heart broken at that, I'm not going to say fragile age, but if you get your heart broken, a man may never fully recover from that experience.